Okay, so now that we have the ColorCert software installed, we have everything licensed and up and running. The last thing we need to do before we can use QA tools is to set up our database. Now there's a couple of options for this. I'm going to take a look at, in this video, setting up a database for a standalone system. This also has options of working with MySQL, and if that's the case, you're going to need some assistance from your IT department. But let's take a look at use on a standalone system. It's actually quite simple. The location where the database will be stored by default is in the CC Libraries folder. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to navigate to this, and that is my C drive, users, public documents, ColorCert data, and finally libraries. Now you'll notice I currently have no library here, and that's fine. I want to show you this. This would be, let's just say we're starting from scratch. I do not have an existing database that has been converted over from ColorMaster or some other location. So I'm going to go ahead and launch ColorCert, and I'm just leaving this folder open here to show you something in just a moment. All right, what I want to do is go to Window, Preferences, and when I'm in here, I'm going to click on the Workflow tab. And the bottom section here where it says XML Export, if this is not already set to database, I want to do so. And then to the right of this, where it says database, I want to choose local database. And then I want to make sure that this is indeed pointing at the libraries folder, which it should be, but let's check. And you can see that it indeed is pointing at cc_libraries, which is the same folder we're looking at over here. Now, if I just want to use a fresh database, not something that I have converted over, as soon as I click on the test button, watch the folder on the left, it will automatically create an empty database and it will connect to it. You can see the message that we successfully connected to this database. That's one option. Let me go ahead and close ColorCert here. I'm going to go ahead and delete this database because I don't need it. Let's say that we converted a database from a legacy version of software that I had. I'm going to take this converted database and I'm going to copy it to this libraries folder. Now, just like before, I'm going to launch ColorCert. I'm then going to go to Window, Preferences, and this time I am going to go to Workflow. Again, we make sure the database is selected, and I'm going to click on the little button with 3 dots or the ellipsis, and this time I'm going to select the database that I've copied into this folder. I'll click Open, and once again I'll click on Test, and it will successfully connect to my database. But this time you can see it's connected to the database that I had created from my older software. So I am all set to go. I can then launch QA tools, and if I come up here to Edit Standards, you will see that I now have literally hundreds of standards from my converted database. So it's actually quite simple to do if this is the case that you're using a standalone database.